Everybody, we call the meeting to order, and the first item of business is the student representative report. We have one coming in. All right. Welcome. Sorry to kick it right to you, but we're gonna kick it right to you. No problem, Anthony.
Okay, we haven't done a whole lot that I would think of.
Hopefully learning.
But got a vote on our spirit days, which I was talking to you guys about, and everybody's really excited about that. We did vote on an all white day, and apparently people didn't like that, but they voted for it. So
Okay.
and then we got our new sparrow Katie, which is really nice. And we did November, where we have a big table full of like mustaches, and I'll put them on, we'll wear them through the school day, and we'll do like a competition for whoever has the best mustache, and they'll get a gift card or something like that. So it was really fun because the teachers do it too.
Very cool. I saw some good November pictures on the. Awesome. Any questions for anyone? Great, thanks for being here. Okay, accentuate the positive.
Good evening, everybody. Heather Lowe, principal here at this little Mustang town. First, happy holidays. I have to do a little gift because you guys always come in December and I love giving gifts. Just a quick note about our recent conferences. We had a huge turnout this year. We set the expectation at 100%. And we have at least 87% of our families really attend the conference. So we're trying to make them those last few that, you know, whenever traveled or maybe are disengaged, but I've encouraged our staff to kind of make that. Secondly, we're just finishing up today, actually, 3 full days with Beth Ferguson from ORTII, who's been working with us on our implementation of the language arts curriculum and really helping us get more in alignment. And so we did observations at all 3 elementary schools, met with teachers, just tightening our ship, getting better and better. And what we noticed is we are getting better and better. And they, you know, they're taking our professional development and the feedback and implementing it. So we're just super excited about that. And then last, this Saturday is our annual craft day. We call it holiday craft day. But one of my PTA moms had a brilliant idea. She said, can we pair that with a toy swap to help ease the burden of gift purchasing at the holidays? And we were like, yeah, we can. Halloween with our costumes, and that turned out really well. So we'll kind of have that. So the toy swap set up in the gym and then crafts in the cafeteria. So that's from 10 to noon. So that's it for me.
Good evening, board. Shauna Schleich, principal at Phoenix. I want to echo what Heather said about conferences and just thanking the board for the time to gather with families. We know that it's really important to, preserve those connections. And so same here, we all have the same charge to get 100% of our families in our buildings, and that we were hovering at 85%, which is really good for us as well. And so just gives us a goal for where to improve from for next year. So just a big shout out to our staff. They did a lot to prepare for those. And then also want to say that we, as far as attendance, we are hovering still in the high 80s. So we're really proud of that. And along with that, one of the strategies we have is a weekly attendance challenge for our classes. And so, we're going to culminate that next week at our sing along, where the students who, if they've met those challenges, did like wrapping paper or bows or whatever. And so the end of our sing along next week will be Wrap the Principal, which is really fun. Also really excited about our next week's sing along. Sage Meadows, our music teacher, will be bringing her entire band to play for us to sing along. So it's going to be something new and exciting for our kids. And it's just a busy time of year, but just a lot of things going on, and it's very festive and fun at PBS.
Thanks, Shauna. Kent Valier, principal at Orchard Hill Elementary. I just have 2 recognitions to share with the board tonight. I want to let you know that Katie McCormick from Kelly Soder's service department was awarded the United Way Community Kindness Award, which is very well deserved. Katie does so much for so many families. And also I always recognize that sometimes those who care for others sometimes need care themselves, especially this time of year. There's a lot of demands there and it's sometimes some highly emotional work. So I really appreciate Katie's work. Shaw and Heather talked about our classroom observations with Beth Ferguson from Oregon RTI. And I just want to take a second to recognize one of our team, Javier Del Rio. So this is, I think of my 38 years, 30th been an elementary principal. And this last week was one of the most focused times on instruction, watching classroom teachers, giving feedback and studying their achievement that comes from really good classroom teaching. And I fear that without Javier, that those types of things wouldn't have been coordinated. So thank you very much. I know the elementary team really appreciates that. Casey, you want to go next?
Thank you. Good evening, board. I also just want to give a couple shout outs. So we have our 6th grade band and choir concert next Tuesday, and then our JV varsity band concert next Wednesday. And Kelly Case, who is new to us, just really is just incredible. The things that she's having the kids do, her ability to lead them, getting them involved. Our chorus, she was our choir class, like she was worried about. And we were kind of, as we were looking at numbers, and that's continuing to grow already. And so seeing that and excited to see that to continue. Sandra Tringolo, we're doing scavenger hunt is all this week. And so we have a bunch of kids that are in the library doing the hunt these last 3 days and trying to solve all of the puzzles and mysteries. And it's amazing, like going in there and seeing the kids working together and trying kind of fumbling through and asking me questions. I'm like, I have no idea. Okay, Google. I don't know. So not being very helpful on purpose. Yeah, just a cool thing that in the way that she leads that charge. And so they'll go to SOU next Tuesday for their kind of next round of that. And they've done, I know did great last year. And so looking forward to that. And then last but not least, but Celia Rowan was recognized last sorry, mixed up on that. As Road Credit Union's Cool Teacher of the Week. So they came in and I've been a part of that a couple of times when they come in and they'll just blast right in the room regardless of what's happening. Celia was mortified and it was awesome. Just see all the kids and they're excited. And so she got nominated by a parent of a student, which is, yeah, just to get that recognition. And then really just kind of a giant shout out to, I would say, all educators right now. In my opinion, this time is heavy and crazy and weird and all the things. And I think just staying positive and showing up for kids when it can be a very heavy time for a lot of our kids and families. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. He's last.
Good evening, board. I just wanted to do a quick few shout outs. Our student services team, so counselors, grad coaches, and a few others have been diving really intentionally into conversations around tier 2 and tier 3 supports for students as we formalize our MTSS framework for students. They can be hard conversations, but necessary conversations. And so I just want to thank those team members who are continuing to show up and have those conversations with each other so we can better serve all students. And also shout out to our instructional leadership team and our classroom teachers who are working on their strong tier 1 support for that MTSS framework as well. We're doing a lot of data analysis on our core curriculum, and that is challenging work as well, but necessary. Integral in that work is our instructional coach, Alyssa Barber, who's constantly collaborating, a huge resource to our teachers, and is also ensuring that our staff meetings are super focused on instruction and equitable outcomes for all students. And then lastly, I've been able to get into some classrooms the last couple of weeks, especially doing some formal observations for our newer staff members. And I just want to say what a great job that they are doing in our buildings. It's hard to be a new teacher, and they're just crushing it, bringing magic for kids every day. So just a shout out to them. That's all from PHS.
Evening board, Aaron Santi, PTRA. I want to start by recognizing TMS, VHS for having efficacious reports tonight. I want to thank them for that. And then one item from PTRA. Last Friday we had a full house. As you know, every Friday we do a science or art activity. We had the bug guy come in, also known as Mr. Jackson, helped everybody dissect their own owl pellets. These were kids, adults, everybody got to do it. It was pretty gross, but they got to learn a lot. What's really cool is it's a good example of family engagement because we have all these people. We have grandparents, parents, uncles, everybody's in there. And the kids get to see that not only they're being supported by their teachers, but also by their peers and all the other adults in the room. So it's really a kind of a neat place to see learning happen across grade levels. So that's it for PTRA.
Good afternoon, board. Kelly Soder, Community Care and Early Learning. I just have a few really quick short ones. Preschool, just so proud of our team working so hard. A year ago, I probably would have tried to avoid a visit from you at the preschool. And today I would say, please come visit anytime you want. We would love to have you come through. It's just a really, a really lovely place to get a few hugs and love from little. So just really proud of our preschool team. We do have a new member joining. Wanted to welcome Angela Glass. We have a staff member leaving and moving and relocating, and we have found a tremendous candidate in Angela Glass. She comes with 15 plus years, specifically in early childhood. Really grateful for that, for her to join our team, and I'm happy to have you meet her sometime soon. I want to give a shout out to Rosario. She has just yesterday or so got awarded a grant that she applied for from a Promising Practices grant that OEA offered. She submitted a grant for Loose Parts, which is really like curiosity and inquiry and kind of maker space where kids can create and build. And she was awarded that grant for our preschool. I was going to mention Katie, so another shout out to Katie. Also just to Katie and Nuvia around Thanksgiving and Christmas. They do a lot of legwork around Thanksgiving baskets and family support and kind of crisis situations around emergency food and all kinds of things. Tomorrow is our monthly family resource center at Community Care Center at the Resource Center. We are seeing more and more, we are seeing those numbers increase every month. So we just know that need continues to be there and grateful to have that opportunity. Last but not least, our quarterly Educational Equity Advisory Committee is now meeting quarterly instead of monthly, and our next one is Monday the 15th. And we will hear from a few of community members and staff members in sort of a panel discussion for our committee to hear from them around inclusion, belonging, and serving our kids and families. I will send that as a follow-up to the board. You are welcome to join if you would like to listen in on that panel. Monday the 15th at 5:30. That's it. No button.
Okay, testing?
Yep.
All right. Guys, good evening, everyone. For those I haven't met yet, my name is Ryan Sweet. I am the executive chef for our district. Unfortunately, Amy couldn't be here tonight, so I've got a couple of few positive updates that I'd like to touch base on. First, I want to give a special thanks to John McCallop and the rest of the facilities team for coordinating the removal and installation of the new dish machines at Phoenix and Talon Elementary. Second, I'd also like to recognize Heather for putting together the PTA menu committee at Talon Elementary. Thanks to parent input, we are already developing January's breakfast menu to include more egg and protein-rich options. Second, we are strengthening our local partnerships. I'm excited to announce collaborations with Salon Family Farms, Black Moon Farms, Fox Run Farms, and Namas. These relationships not only support our community, but also bring fresher, healthier ingredients to our students. And then finally, I'd like to celebrate our recent successes. The Thanksgiving meal on November 20th was a huge hit. And we're looking forward to our upcoming holiday meal on December 18th. The menu is going to feature locally sourced roast beef, mashed potatoes, gravy, green bean casserole, and cherry parfaits. If you guys have the time, we'd love to see you down there and come celebrate with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ryan. It's great. That everybody? Okay, I want to make sure Lincoln joined us. I want to make sure if you had a report that you had an opportunity to. What's that?
Yeah. Hi board, my name is Lincoln Patochnik. I'm a senior at Phoenix High School. I'm not sure what Emily touched on, but tomorrow we have our winter assembly, and that's going to kick off our winter spirit week. We've got some super fun games. We've got planted assembly, and then loads of fun activities throughout the week. We've got fun spirit days, fun courtyard activities. We have our hallway decorating competition that's going on. starting on this Wednesday, and it will be going up till next Wednesday, and we have the freshmen and juniors versus the seniors and sophomores. We have a fun spirit competition to see who can decorate the hallways the best.
Great, glad you could be here, thank you. Okay, next is citizens' comments. Do we have anybody wish to address the board tonight? Anybody comment cards, please? Okay, anybody online?
No.
Okay, we're doing such a good job. Moving along, okay, PTA, OSCA, we have Rosario here, where's the microphone? Oh, we'll get it for you. Pass the hot potato.
Thank you.
Congrats on that grant.
I know, Kelly took away one of my updates.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see if it's on.
Sorry on Kelly's behalf.
Hold on a moment. I need to see where the notes are. Okay, so I just want to report that conferences went well and our educators are saying it was a great time to spend with families and students and connect and talk about progress and plans for the next year. We know that it's hard, like we love the schedule, but it is hard, like going from staying up really late to like getting up early the next day. So PTA just kind of worked on making sure everyone was able to get some breaks in there and meal times in that, so that way, you know, everyone can have that stamina to meet with our families and give them their full attention. And then, yeah, I was gonna mention the OEA grant. It was a little more than $800 for loose parts, which is amazing. I echo that sentiment of we should get it in by January. So anytime after that, if you want to come in and see the kids work with it, oh my gosh, it's amazing the stuff they do. I'm really happy OEA is kind of restructuring the way that they allocate like grants and things like that. So that way more educators have a chance of getting the resources they need to support the students that they serve. So yeah, so that's my update.
Great, thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay, superintendent report, Mr. Barry.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Campbell. I just want to kind of reiterate and thank this team out there. You heard a lot of amazing activities, fun activities, but you also had heard a lot of focus on learning and intention and strategic planning around supporting our kids in that learning environment. So they carry a lot, and I just appreciate this team so much out there. I want to share earlier this week, Carolina Campbell and I were able to go to District 5 board meeting and share and honor Brian Bolstad, who's retiring, and Denise developed a great plaque that we were able to give him and share all of our appreciation of just what he has meant to this community as a whole and to our district. And Carolina mentioned that she's been here 12 years and he was from day one just a huge advocate and a huge supporter of just helping our students understand emergency services. So really appreciate him from him, and thank you for Carolina for joining me on that day. Want to mention that we are going to do another coffee with the superintendent next Thursday at 3 p.m. We're going to do it here at ceremony. They close at 4, so we had to start a little bit earlier, but we'll try to spread some of those times around to try to get some more attendance. But the first one went well, and we'll see how attendance is for the next one. Just an open forum for the public, just to chat about what's going well, what they'd like to see to improve, and just any concerns that they may have. In your package, you have a Sodexo update that is just, I mean, if that doesn't make you hungry, some of those pictures, I don't know what does, but just appreciate the update on from Sodexo on that. And then finally, you have an update. This is reclassification time with the OSAA, which is, I don't envy the committee that has to make these decisions. I think there's been nearly 10 iterations of what the classifications may look like. The final recommendation we feel pretty good about. I asked James to come and just kind of share a little bit about the update of where it's standing now and kind of some of the thoughts that went into sharing how we fit into the mix in the state.
Sorry, I think I just closed it on myself. Good evening, everybody. I'm James Roy, Athletic Director over at the high school. So yeah, thank you for the introduction and like, thank you, perfect. So that, like you said, this is a process that takes place every 4 years statewide, and it's they call it the redistricting, classification and redistricting. That makes it two parts. The first thing they do is they look at the schools, have they grown in size, have they shrunk in size, and then they put them into the right classification. 6A being the biggest schools, 5A, we're a 4A school by classification. 6A would be like North and South Medford. 3A, 2A, 1A. 1A would be like Butte Falls. 3A might be like a St. Mary's. And then once they have the teams classified in what classification they're going to be in, then they decide what leagues or what districts they're going to be in. This process started in August. Yeah, there's been about 10 official proposals, plus dozens and dozens of public proposals that have come through. Superintendent Barry and I have been keeping a close eye on it. Through all the process, we really we're kind of in the middle of every proposal in terms of what classification we're in, and it's always been 4A. And so this is the final proposal that the classification committee is then going to give to the executive board. There's still could be some changes at that point, but that's pretty unlikely, doesn't happen historically. And so the next 4-year time block, this is likely what our conference will look like. It'll be Cascade Christian in, Henley out. Henley would be moved to 5A. The 3 dots there means Cascade Christian is choosing to play up. They're technically a 3A school, but they want to play up, and they would be granted that. And then the other team coming into our conference would be North Valley. These numbers over here are what our attendance is after a socioeconomic factor is subtracted. So it's, when you look at that, I mean, it says Phoenix has 387 and we're a little bit bigger than that, but that's why those numbers look a little different. So that's likely what we will be looking at unless a couple changes are made at the last minute. But I don't think for us, it would affect, maybe a North Valley gets moved out, or, you know, Henley gets moved back in, but that's what it's going to look like. Now that's for most of our regular sports. For football, there's a whole different process, and that's called the ad hoc committee. We have applied to play down again into being a 3A school. And I did a testified on last week to that committee and gave them all of our data from the last 2 years, how many players we have, win-loss record, JV win-loss record, and so on. And then next. And just so you know, this is from our OSA website. It's kind of hard to read, but you can see that the regular conference is sports like volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball. And then we have all these other special districts that we're involved in, for instance, swimming, cheerleading, wrestling. And so those are a whole nother organization of teams, because some teams may not have those schools that are in our regular conference may not have those sports. And so they might add or subtract other teams to make a special district. So a lot of coordination. And then once this is all done, then the athletic director's jobs really start with scheduling for the next couple of years. So anyway, any questions? And what it looks like. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
I want to thank James. He did testify, and has been, you know, we've submitted letters in support of some proposals and not support of a lot of proposals. But you know, we feel like it's a pretty fair league for us. And I mean, we see these teams a lot, and so that 6-team league is good. I like the number of the teams in the leagues too. Some have 14 leagues, which is a little tougher on scheduling. So I feel like we made out okay, and we'll see how they recommend that to the executive board and go from there.
Travel's not too bad in that conference either.
Yeah. Good. And that's all I had, really.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for Brent? Okay, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the?
I would like to make a change to the consent agenda, and I don't know if I need to pull something out to make the change. How would you like me to do that? Or like
is it on personnel or?
I would like to suggest a change on the agenda, moving an item up from the bottom to the top.
Oh, okay.
Fortunate.
Yeah, I would
Got
like to move the cell phone discussion up so that, those that wanna stay, like maybe Miss Cross, could stay versus that having at the very end of the meeting.
Got it.
And maybe the students as well. That's my suggestion, but I don't know.
That's fine. Any objections to that? Okay, great. Any other objections to the agenda or to the consent agenda? Okay, hearing none, the consent agenda is approved with that adjustment, so we'll move, the cell phone discussion. Who seconded?
Oh, second.
Rebecca did.
Thank you.
Okay. Who, I don't know who motioned.
I moved. in a
Okay,
weird
great.
way.
Okay. Thank you. That was so long ago. All right, information and discussion, legislative OSBA update.
Okay, I'm getting my notes out, they're somewhere. There were in the packet, there was a thing about the ethics, and I didn't know if Brent or Michael wanted to talk about that.
Well, I would love to if I understood exactly what changed. Can you speak to that, or who can speak to that? I don't quite understand what the change.
I'm gonna speak to that, because I've been in a couple of the meetings.
Okay.
Basically, it was passed a few years ago that board members could get a stipend. But then
Oh.
ethics commission was asked before it passed, and they said, sure, that's not a problem. And then after they passed, they said, hey, wait, it is a problem.
Yeah.
So then, after lots and lots of talking, they came up with a solution, and basically, you have to vote each individual person. So you have to vote for every board seat. You wouldn't vote for the person, you would vote for the board seat, but that person for that seat would have to abstain from that vote.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of a big process.
Mm.
So I think that's what was in there. That's the recap of
Okay.
that.
Because it had to do with declaring and things like that, but it didn't seem any different from what I've known about.
It's just the voting process, because if
Okay.
you vote for your own stipend, then that would be a conflict. And then it was like, can you declare the conflict? And you can, but OSBA recommends you just abstain and you do it separate. You can do it however,
Seems like they could have carved out an exception and just done it that way.
well,
but-
Spencer it was a workshop, I think I took it in August.
Mhm.
And he said that you could do, but that he highly recommended doing it
Mhm.
this way.
Mhm.
And the ethics commission has been a little challenging lately for school boards.
Because, yeah, okay. I mean, how many officials get paid, and there's lots of people on boards who get.
For
paid.
some reason, I don't know why, the school boards are just looked at differently.
We sure are. Okay.
The next is you should have all got it looks like it's in our packet, and I sent an email about the legislative reception and meeting in Grants Pass at the high school. It will be January 5th from 6 to 8. I have invited all the representatives. I've gotten 2 or 3 already responding back that they are coming. And then also during this process, I had a request from a board member at a different district wanting to know if we can invite Cliff Benz to this, and the answer is no, because he will be in Washington DC. So I think after I asked the person afterwards, I said, we've invited him to our school several times, but I would be willing to work on it again and have a regional, maybe work on a regional meeting or a Zoom meeting or something with school board members after this reception. And so they said, okay. I am also going to DC at the beginning of February, and we'll have a meeting with his office so I can talk with them about some details hopefully then. But if you have any suggestions, please let me know. You should have got a call from action from Stacy a couple days ago. And there will be another call for action. She didn't tell me what it was about when I talked to her a couple days ago, but there's another call for action coming. I think it's federal. And then legislative days for Oregon will be January 13th through the 15th. There'll be a lot of committee meetings like there was last time. The committee meetings in January seem to be a little bit more, I don't know, lively than the ones in November. And and then the session starts on the first. OSBA will be having their meeting mid-January to have our LPC meeting, so we'll get everyone to do together for LPC, and that system is going to change a little bit. Our region will have an LPC person and another board of directors, so that will be nice, and we'll know who that is on December 15th.
I think only one person ended up applying for the.
Only one person ended up, but then there was 3 for the other.
For the LPC.
And we are the only region that the whole entire region has voted, because I get a little snippet because I'm in charge of that.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, we'll know, I know already, but we'll all know on December 15th.
Okay. Well, aren't you special? Okay. You are special. No. Nope. You're doing a great job. Okay, committee reports. Do we have any committee?
I have one.
Oh, yay.
I went to the safety and trade agency meeting yesterday.
Did you see when they arrested Ken?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't see that. Sorry. It was at the district office. There was probably about 15-ish people in attendance, including myself. Most everybody in attendance just discussed it being pretty quiet and the drills going pretty well. Looking forward to winter break. And the main safety concern was turkeys being on the property. So I think we're doing pretty good. And apparently there's video of them chasing Sergeant Hole after he distracted them from chasing a citizen.
Oh, that's funny.
I haven't seen the video. I haven't heard it exists.
My house. Yeah.
I live up by the manor, so Orchard Hill, and they have multiplied.
Yeah.
Other turkeys are in full effect. Yeah.
They're mad about Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's, seems like the next Stephen King movie. Neighborhood turkeys.
The children go out with their recorders.
That's a great idea. When you come to my house. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Any other reports? Okay, first student renewal.
Yeah, we have, we'll be meeting with first student here, or get a proposal in the next week or so and have, sent that out to the board. We'll try to get that right away once we discuss the terms. We're up for renewal that we need to do before January 30th. And we have some flexibility of what that looks like. It's been a quick 5 years, I guess, since we did that RFP and got that contract. And so we'll have that ready for the January 8th for action, based on Yasmin and myself and their team looking at what the terms may be. So
What are the options at this point? We can choose to renew or we can choose to do an RFP?
yeah, we can. Yes, we can do both of those.
Okay, got it.
Question.
Yeah,
If 5 years is a long time, but I think I was on that committee.
yeah.
I remember briefly there was talk about getting an accessible big bus so on field trips, if there was a child that had a wheelchair or accessible issues, that they could go with their class versus a separate bus. And first student was like, oh yeah, we would do that. And it kind of seemed like it dropped. I'm wondering if that conversation has come back.
We can certainly have it. I don't know if we have that. You're talking that like 84 passenger bus that has
Yes.
a wheelchair accessibility.
Just one, as all, I mean, it would be nice to have more than one, but it would really be nice to have one so that a child, or if we happen to hire a staff member that is in a wheelchair, that we would have the ability to all travel together on a.
Janelle mentioned that they're getting 2 new buses this summer, so I can ask that question tomorrow for sure. Thank you. Yeah.
Tiffany did not pay me to say that. But they give me the thumbs up.
I will tell you, there are other first student providers. Medford and Central Point are two big ones, and so really collaborating with them and getting our potential renewals or RFPs on the same cycle, because I think that could work out in our benefit. So we may not want to do another 5-year. If Medford's up in 2 years, maybe we do a 2-year renewal. So those are some conversations that we'll have with those two districts.
Thank you. Okay,
Have we done an RFP before with them? Like the last time was our RFP?
Yeah, when was the last time we did RFP with First Student?
2021.
20, yeah, so 5 years, and this is the
That was
5th year
on-
of that, yeah.
Mhm.
And before that, it was, I think in the contract, you have 3 different options to do 5-year renewal. Oh, no, how many 5-year renewals do we have?
I think it's 2 max.
2 max, yeah. So before that, it was many years before we had an RFP. Cause I think we maxed out those 2 other renewals for 5 years each. So.
Okay, great. Other items for information and discussion, new third-party administrator, 403B.
Yeah, Yasmin's gonna talk a little bit about this. This is something that I mentioned in my superintendent report last time. We were kind of forced to look at different plans because our plan was going away. And it does benefit our district overall to switch plans. And so Yasmin's been working with a company and expands options for our employees, so.
Yeah, so basically, we used to be with Norwest Retirement for many, many years. And we just got notification this year that they won't be able to service governmental plans anymore. So we had to go and look for somebody. So when I started doing my research, I realized that most of the districts in our area already use Omni, and they had great things to say about the company. So they're very flexible. They have a lot of options. If we need to add vendors for 403B, it's easy to add them, and it looks like the service is very good. Also, there's no cost to the district. There's gonna be some savings because every time we have to reinstate the contract or just the plan documents for every year, we used to pay from $250 to then $750 when it was a reinstatement, and this company is not going to charge us at all. The fees are going to go directly to the vendors that are providing those 403B plans to our employees. So also, we decided to include a 457B for those employees that want more flexibility. Because if they want to contribute more than the limit for a 403B, they don't have the limitation. They can also do another 23,500 if they want to with a 457B. There's also no penalties if they have distributions before 59.5 years of age. So, there's a little bit of flexibility. We also realized that even though we did offer Roth on the current plan, nobody was really taking advantage of that. So we wanted to make sure the employees knew about it, first of all, and make sure that we offer for both 403B and 457B plans. So it looks like we're in good course, and it's supposed to start as of January 1st. So it looks like we're on track and we have the contracts all ready to sign. You have any questions?
How does this compare to what American Fidelity is doing with?
So 403B, American Fidelity is one of our vendors.
Okay,
So they're not the ones that are handling the whole plan for us.
I got it.
Yeah, so this is a third-party administrator for all the different plans that we have.
Okay, got it.
So they'll still have VALIC, American Fidelity, all
Right, so if
the
you
other.
look at the plan documents, I think it's the last page for the 403B and the 457B, and you'll see the listing of vendors that we currently have plans
Okay,
that we offer for employees, and we can always have more.
got it. Okay. Did you have a question, Rick?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just really grateful for Yasmin we were kind of forced to do this, but then it ended up being a good thing for us, and Yasmin spent a lot of time on working with this third party. So
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Next is BCF advisory committees to the board, policy. Any comments or questions about this policy? Okay, we'll pick that up January, right? BHD, board member compensation and expense reimbursement. I will say this one kind of snuck by me. I wasn't prepared to have the stipend discussion, so, is this just, we have to update this policy to account for the new statute? Or,
Yes, but you can adopt it the way it is and choose not to have stipends.
right,
But having that language in there allows you to do it in the future if you want, or you can choose not to.
but passing this as it's written now, or the changes due to statute doesn't force us to have a discussion about stipends now, does it? Cause I haven't heard from anybody that they wanna take that up right now, but,
And we could put this on for information discussion the next time too, or does it have?
Sure, if you.
Yeah, there's no timeline on that.
Everyone, those boards can move forward with amendment to this policy, even if the board does not want to provide stipends.
She had,
no, I understand that, this, I think it's important to provide clarity for people that although the policy's being updated because the law changed, I don't know that this board is taking up that stipend conversation yet, so. Okay. Important distinction.
I know a lot of boards are avoiding that due to, budget restrictions. I know a lot of the ones up north are like,
This is,
yeah.
No, well, it is, but we already have. That.
yeah,
But, so the blue language that we have in there, the amount of the stipend is limited to the amount included in the budget. You can just have a zero item budget line. But yeah, whatever you want me to do. You want me to bring it back again for info or whatever?
I would say bring it back. I'd like to know how many people are actually taking the stipends. Last time I asked that question at OSBA, it was like 2 districts out of 197. So I'm curious how many other districts are doing the stipends and how that's working. I know when it first passed, one district jumped on board and there were some hiccups. So the reason I'm interested is just because it's so new and what challenges have come up and know a little bit more before there's a lot of probably questions, and it would be nice to know how many are doing it and if there's been any hiccups in the process.
Okay.
As far as I know, in August, no one had done it yet. So, one district was thinking about it, so I'd be surprised if it was more than 3 or 4. But I'd be curious. I can look into that if you.
You can send an email to the board secretaries and ask them.
Sure.
Yeah, or.
I mean, OSBA should know.
Yeah, I can contact OSBA and ask Spencer, because Spencer was the one that did the workshop and say, hey, do you know how many have done it? So I'll do that.
Okay.
Nice, appreciate it. Let's see. CEA, Educational Equity Advisory Committee.
This policy is optional. We chose to include it. We have the committee where it gives some guidelines, so. We recommend being as presented next time.
Okay.
It just basically switches it from a board committee to a superintendent committee.
And that was the legislative update that we.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, DBEA, Budget Committee. Questions, comments, changes? Okay. Play sick leave again. I don't think we do it twice a year. GCBD. Any questions, comments on that one?
I think this one was brought up again because of the legislative change that happened with the last legislations earlier this year.
You put this old language in there.
Typically, our fall update, we get loaded with policies based on the long session.
Jessica, are you sorry to put you on the spot?
Okay. I'm sorry, what was the question?
This, I haven't asked you yet,
Okay.
sorry. The language in this new policy, maybe you know, Brent, I'm just curious about relationship to the CBA or to the both contracts. Just want to take a
Are you
look.
talking the sick leave one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know if I don't remember if we have any language to that effect around needing to get a doctor's note.
We do,
Okay.
Yeah.
in both
Okay.
contracts,
Is it?
Yeah.
we are in line with Oregon law.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
I couldn't remember. Now I'm getting multiple contracts confused. Okay, let's see. GCBDE, military leave of absence. Questions or comments on that one? A lot of red language. Okay. Immunization, school sports, participation, and other brain injuries. If adopting, we would delete JHCA. Okay. JOA directory information. Questions on that one? Okay. And then LBEA. Virtual charter school. Do you have any comments on that one?
This one seems to be changed all the time through legislation and we just did it in February of 24, so.
Okay. All right, would we like to, so Don proposed when we were talking about the consent agenda, moving K7 up. We want to take a recess first and then come back and do that first, because we want to do that now and then take a recess.
I have no problem if you want it to go left. For the second, I'll.
Do it now and then take a recess? Okay. So it's item K7, but we're taking it up first, personal electronic devices. So we have here a policy. How do I know which one's which?
The blue language is actually the one with the blue language is the one that we're in practice now.
Okay.
Current practice. And the other one is the one we got from OSBA to follow the executive order.
Okay. Blue language. There's two versions, maybe that would be.
Well, and I think I put in the comments, so the one you have, which is all marked up, and then the other one is a clean version of how it would read with those changes.
Okay.
And at the last meeting, the board had requested us to change the policy based on current practices.
So that clean copy is the current practice one. So, do we have a motion?
I have a clarifying question.
Mm-hmm.
So this policy is basically exactly what we're doing right now.
It's current practice, yeah.
I move to approve policy JFCEB, personal electronic devices as presented.
I second that. Discussion? Rebecca, do you wanna talk about your motion?
I appreciate that it was changed to first off, stating specifically that K through 8 are not allowed to have their electronic devices, at school during instructional hours at all, which is what we're already doing, and I appreciate that about our district. And I also appreciate that also in this model of it, that they, can, however, at the high school, pull out their cell phones at lunch, which was my biggest concern, and also just, any sort of discrimination around anybody with medical issues was a big concern of mine when they're allowed to have their phones, but other students aren't, and I think that's really inclusive and I appreciate it.
Any other comments?
All to say, I'm still struggling with this. I'm glad that we're staying as is, but I'm not sure what. I read the letter that we got from ODE, and I'm trying to say everything nice and I understand why that we're doing, like, why you would want to just pass this as our current policy, but I also struggle with I guess it's a own personal thing, like by doing this, I guess I was just struggling with what is the right choice and what's the right example for students. Do you pass it as is and then wait for them to come and say, hey, this isn't what we want? Or do you say at the beginning, hey, we're not going to do what you want? So I guess I'm really struggling on what is the right, I guess it's a moral thing for me. What's the right example for students is what you do. That's my struggle right now is, do we say, hey, this isn't going to work, or do we pretend that it's going to work? And I don't know. I'm just really struggling with what's right. Of course, I want to do what's best for students always. And of course, I do not want to cost the district any more money, but I also want to make sure that people who make decisions know loud and clear that sometimes you're making decisions that aren't best for students and you put us in a bind. And so for me, it's really hard on how to vote to make sure that because it seems like it happens all the time. Like it's constantly like it's coming down to us and then we're in this bind area. So that's my problem or my challenge is like, I want to do what's best for students, and I really don't know if a no or yes vote is the best way. So I'm just letting you all know that's where I'm at.
I think the discussions after meeting at the high school in which the principal brought up a survey that was done. I think we have enough supporting material to support what we're saying here about using the phones, allowing the high school kids to use the phones during the lunch hour. It's supported, it's local, it makes sense. And, things are not one size fits all. And we are saying it doesn't fit, as written. So, I think it's well supported, and there were students there also giving anecdotal information. I think that counts for something too. So.
My favorite when they were like, there was like an enclosed space and we could go and use the phone, like a phone booth. That was my favorite part of that whole discussion. Polly, do you have anything to? Here's what I'd like to say. I'm actually, I think the board has made it very loud and clear that we aren't happy with the executive order. I'm kind of separating us from that right now. I'm kind of looking at this a little differently in that I feel like this might have been a good policy for us to pass 2 years ago. And that's how I'm looking at it. Let's codify our current practice in a policy to give our administration some kind of put the onus on us to say we support what you're doing by via board policy. And that way it's codified in that way. And if, going forward, that it's known that this is how we do things in Phoenix Talent and it's supported by board policy. So, if we pass it, ODE might come knocking. If we don't pass it, ODE might come knocking. But I'm just kind of, to me, I like where we've landed. I think I think Diana really astutely pointed out, like, hey, it actually, we don't have anything in policy that says it's not allowed K-8. And so I just think memorializing that in board policy gives our superintendent and our administration some more support for this movement of keeping cell phones out of the classroom. And so kind of separating it from the whole executive order process. Because at this point, you know, we've proven that we beat to the beat of our own drum. And yeah, they might come knocking either way. So I'm looking at it like this is memorializing something that probably should have been done a couple of years ago. So
I do have a question, oh, sorry. When I was advocating and before this, my only other concern is that technology changes so much, like I see commercials of like glasses and I know that with it being in the, my understanding is that with it being in the handbook, then Miss Cross or whoever is at that school can make the changes quickly and say, okay, starting Monday, this is not what we're doing and send out the changes. And if it's in a policy, would that slow things down and cause challenges for the admin is my question. I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but because it seems like with it being in the handbook, it gives more flexibility to admin. When it's given to us, it seems to take away flexibility. So I'm wondering if I'm just yeah.
I think until we get to the point of like implants, it's pretty broad in that it says that if you look at the definition, personal electronic device means any portable electrically powered devices capable of making and receiving calls and text messages and accessing the internet independently from the school's network infrastructure. So if glasses could do, I would think glasses would fall under that category, smartwatches. So I feel good about the breadth, if you will, of the definition to satisfy that. And I think if it becomes a problem, they can bring it to us and we could put it with the sick leave policy that we're every other time.
Flexibility away from them and coming to the board, like this time we only meet once a month. And so I didn't want to take away flexibility that they were used to having. And that was my concern. But it sounds like you're not concerned about the flexibility. Okay.
Great. Any other?
Want a comma, et cetera, on that end of that sentence?
No, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't taking away flexibility from admin.
Yeah.
And it would take longer to go through a process to make changes. And I didn't want to do that.
I appreciate how your pace board brain works in every possible scenario.
Like being on pace is a bad, yes. I forgot to talk about that on my report, but yes.
Okay.
So, I have a couple things. On this other policy, we have a request for personal electronic devices exception. So if we were to vote what the motion is that's out there right now and vote yes, then do we also accept the exception report, or how does that impact that?
I mean,
That's the AR. That's a second one. So
So
what
we
you're
don't
talking
have to
about?
vote on there.
I think we do have to take action on the AR
Yeah.
and so that's the other thing, because there are exceptions right now, right? If kids need to use it in class. And so it again, just kind of codifies what we're currently doing into a policy. So there would still need to be an exception process. In our case, the way our policy reads, it's for the other times that our policy is saying they're not allowed. Is my understanding of the law. Right?
The thing is, I'll just come out and say that I just don't want to vote on this again, like, because they come back and say, you're not in compliance. You know what I mean? Like, we
Oh, they
should have just
probably
voted the dumb thing in the first place. That's kind of where I'm at.
Sure.
I'm kind of feeling like her, that I don't want to have, I don't love that they told us that they didn't also do their due diligence beforehand, but I also don't want to be out of compliance and it affect our students in some negative way. I don't want that. So, and I feel we've made great strides in this, but I also think that there's not uniformity
in the enforcement and the schools. So we have room to grow there as well, but
Well, I think that's
that's
another.
not part of this.
Yeah, I think that's another thing the policy gives is there needs to be more uniformity. And, you know, and I know that's a challenge you all face with just among staff and from classroom to classroom, so.
So I just want to clarify what we're voting on. Are we voting on the policy and then we're gonna vote on the AR separate? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Students, do you have anything to add to the discussion? This
Um,
impacts you.
I think I'm definitely hearing the voices of the students and you guys. They're not like upset with us not having our phones in class, like I think that's important. And there's definitely times where like I need to use my phone because I have so many things I have to schedule. And it also gives students a chance to learn like, oh, I used my phone and I didn't do homework. I need to like not do that. Like I've heard students go, maybe we should have spent more time on homework and not my phone. So it's something like learning further than that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, the policy that we have right now, I think what's about the students, like, I know a lot of students don't like not having the phone on class, but I think it's what's best for all the students as a whole, we already have going.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, we ready to vote? Okay,
I have a question for the students.
yeah, go for it.
Are kids talking to each other at lunchtime or is everybody on the phone? Like at airports, nobody talks anymore to each other. Everybody's on. But are they talking to each other at lunchtime?
We're social. I know a lot of the other classrooms because we're all very social. We all talk to, like, we do use our phones here and there, but everybody's pretty social.
Yeah, okay.
Would you say the change, especially for you and Lincoln, because you're a senior, do you notice a shift at
Yeah, I
lunchtime?
think I've seen a big shift. Like, I remember when I was a freshman, everybody would just sit on their phones and stuff. Even during class, like I'd be sitting in class, I noticed a lot of students are on their phones during like times when teachers are teaching. And now it's like students are more focused, people are more social. I don't know if that's just because the people I've been around have gotten older with them, we've become more social, but I've noticed that overall people seem more social, like as a whole without their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people are a lot more social, like I'm seeing freshmen very social, like
Great.
loud in classrooms, hanging out, they're not. So.
As someone who's married to a teacher, I've heard her express, sometimes I miss them. Especially with freshmen. Because it gave them something to do and not running around my classroom.
It's another problem.
Yes. All right, Diana, we're voting, so.
Oh, we're voting.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Holly,
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Wow. Rebecca?
Yeah.
I vote yes. Motion passes. Proud of you, Don. Okay, we're gonna take a recess. We will be back in 7 minutes. All right, we are back. Moving back to the top, K1 OSBA Board of Directors nomination. I'm a little confused. So this is because
I thought we nominated him last
I
time.
thought we did too.
Well, we nominated, but now we have to make our vote on
Yeah.
who the person
Oh,
is.
I thought we did that.
No.
No, we didn't vote yet.
Okay.
And we are gonna complete the cell phone, the exceptions before we move on, or was that included?
We're gonna come back to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just, it's technicality, but we technically did
There options.
move that item too, so.
There's three, how many
We'll
options?
just come back.
So I
OSBA
nominate
nomination.
Joe Chick for
There's
the
only
Southern
one.
Region Position 5 on the OSBA Board of Directors.
Second.
Can I just clarify?
Yeah,
What was his name? Joe Chick.
It should be Jay.
No, Jay.
oh yeah, it's Jay.
I is Jay.
Sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I didn't know, I was like, I don't think that's his name. But I've been calling him Jay this whole way.
I'm just really happy that.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I need the first and second again.
Second.
Thank you.
okay, discussion? Okay, Diane,
Yes.
Holly,
Yes.
Don,
Abstain.
Rick,
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
I vote yes. IF district curriculum. These are all policies that we talked about at the last meeting. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the changes to board policy IF, district curriculum as presented. A second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, thank you, Polly. Thank you, Dawn. We will vote. Diana?
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Rick? Yes. Rebecca?
Yes.
I vote yes. IGBAB. They are.
I move to approve changes to board policy IGBABJOAR, education records of students with disabilities as presented.
A second. Discussion? Okay. You got that? Rebecca and myself? Okay, Diana?
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Rick? Yes. Rebecca?
Yes.
I vote yes. JOIGBABAR.
I move to approve board policy JOIGBABAR, education records of students with disabilities as presented.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Polly. Discussion? Diana?
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Rick? Yes. Rebecca?
Yes.
I vote yes. IIA instructional materials. Have a motion.
I move to adopt board policy IIA instruction materials as presented, replacing the current policy IIA.
Second.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Rebecca. Discussion? Diana?
Yes.
Polly?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Rick? Yes. Rebecca?
Yeah.
I vote yes. IKF graduation requirements.
I move to approve the changes in board policy IKF, graduation requirements as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Rebecca. Discussion?
It was one of the callers or whatever extended, but I didn't understand. It seems like it's extended graduation into future time. Where is it extended?
It's actually a deceiving name. Extended comes from extended assessments, which are Oregon State's alternative assessments for students with significant disabilities. So it's meant for about 1% of our student population. So the extended diploma counts as a diploma for jobs. Like they could say they have a high school diploma, but it doesn't count for college admission or financial aid for either community college or a 4-year.
How long can a student stay in a high school program?
So in special education, and our students who receive extended diplomas do receive special education services. They're educated until they're 21, or until they get a regular diploma, whichever comes first. And so 21, the year, we let them finish out their school year. And so most of our students who get an extended diploma, and some that get a modified diploma, will go to our transition program for 18 to 21-year-old students at our transition house after they graduate from high school.
What about other students?
Other students who do not receive
The extended, well, how long can they stay there?
So a student who is not receiving special education services, or he does not
Go for
have a 504.
Grab something. Sorry. Especially working late, take the whole tray.
I want to say that our board policy says that we don't admit students after the age of 19 when it comes in, but I'd have to double check policy. But only students who have a 504 plan or an IEP are protected until they're 21.
Can I add that the transition house is over by Orchard Health, it is not located at the high school, just to give you additional information.
the transitional.
The students that have the extended diploma that Tiffany was talking about, that are 18 to 21, they get their services at the traditional house, the transitional house, and it's a house over by Orchard Hill. And so that, I just wanted you to know that it was not on any of the campuses, it's a separate house close to Orchard Hill.
It's a great program, and I invite any board members if they want to go walk through it.
Visit at some point. I mean, you know, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm so ignorant about what's happening in the different schools and the programs. And I'm gonna start with, you know, coming to a principal and saying, I wanna hang out.
Great.
See if I can catch up to speed.
Yeah,
And you're always welcome at the transition house. I mean, it is, like Dawn said, a house, they don't live there, but the board was very kind to buy an actual little house, so students learn how to do laundry, dishes, cleaning, yard work and such, in addition to their vocation. So if you ever want to know, they're at the Restore on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday, they're at Figaro's once a week, doing some, so hopefully you'll see some of our students in the community, and we hope to get hired after that.
Great. It's good. I appreciate that you took the time to ask about that. It's important. All right. You ready to vote? Okay. Yes. Holly,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yeah.
I vote yes. Okay, we already did personal electronic devices. CEB, now we have the AR. Do I have a motion?
I'm gonna move for policy BEBAR, request for personal electronic device exemption as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Polly. Discussion?
I have a question. Is this what OSBA sent out with the other? So it seemed like when I had done research in this, that the exceptions were very vague, and I had an equity issue with the exceptions and also a personnel issue with the exceptions. And I'm wondering if that is a concern of anybody else's, that we could come into equity, or having people send in a lot of exceptions. I think with staying the way we are, we won't need to, but I'm just concerned of people getting exceptions, because when I was in a workshop, the exception list was like, holy smokes. It would be like, it probably would be 50 to 60% of my students. And so I didn't want to have staff have to go through all this and figure it all out. It seemed like a very time consuming thing. And so that's my concern with this, be time consuming for staff, opening up a can of worms.
I don't think so, and I can confirm with Kayla, but I mean, she's seen this policy and they're good with it. We've looked at the suggestions. If it becomes an issue, I think we need to maybe readdress this, but
I think what I heard her say is that they're basically already using a version of this. Yeah, they already have an exemption process that they're using, so, yeah.
Because with the other policy, OSBA had recommended this, she did have a concern of the exception, like who's gonna take all these exceptions.
Right.
And look through them in the time, and so I just wanted to make sure that we weren't causing more work for staff on a cell phone policy, that, because they probably have enough work going on as it is.
And would the parent or guardian have to sign it before? Cause I feel like that would take out some of the like kids that want the exception to the principal, like, you know.
Yes,
They would have to sign it before.
correct. Yeah.
I think that would take out a lot of the percentage.
Good question. I think it'd be a great question. Any more discussion? Diana?
Yes.
Holly?
Yeah.
Don?
Yes.
You want to vote no on something today?
No. Brett says it should be fine, so yeah. No pressure.
Rick? Yes. Rebecca?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, review of the next meeting. If anyone watches this back, I hope they know that like you and I have a great
Oh, yes.
relationship. I do give you a hard time sometimes. We give each other.
No.
Yeah.
I have a few, people watching.
Yes, Polly.
Question about this agenda draft.
Yes.
The first action item is the interview of the budget committee applicants. I saw some emails. I'm wondering if those two folks that. Is Roseanne gonna be here that night or no? No, so
No,
it's just gonna
but
be,
the other gentleman will be.
okay,
At least he said he was going to be.
right.
And we did have Roland.
And we did get an
Yeah,
application from
that's-
Roland.
Yeah.
I'm gonna designate myself as his contact person, so maybe we don't have to find him again.
Well, he moved and
Oh, he
didn't,
did?
yeah, and
Oh.
didn't update his address and he got a different email address as well.
Oh,
So
there you
that
go.
was it.
So now we're dialed in.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my only question.
I'd like to, since you brought it up, I want to just check in with the board on something because I know I suggested that I would like to make sure we interview everybody. I felt like everyone was in agreement with that. But
I'm totally in agreement.
Okay,
I don't-
all right.
I don't know how to
Was
do
that-
that.
okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry. So if the person cannot appear, then do they forfeit? I mean, what's cause I think usually we don't interview, and so I'm just kind of wondering about the process. We already know one person isn't going to be able to make it.
I think what I remember just in my time, you've been on the board longer than I remember not interviewing people who have already served.
Okay.
I don't remember not interviewing people who were new applicants to the budget committee.
I'm pretty sure, I joined the board in 2021 and I'm pretty sure we've always interviewed new people, at least as long as I've been on.
Well, when I was on the, the budget committee before I was on the board, I don't think I was interviewed, but,
Well,
that was a long time ago. But my question is, so if the person can't show up for the interview, I don't remember what, I guess you can have time to look into it. What's the process? If they don't show up to the interview, can we still appoint them? I mean, I don't know what. Brian's saying yes. I'm just wondering like.
Again, I don't think we have a policy. It was just, it was a preference I expressed and it seemed like there was a lot of consensus about that. The person was kind of, it's fine, I'm the chair, I'll take the arrows, but I just wanted to make sure everyone was in agreement with that. Cause if you don't feel like we need to interview them, then we could consider that, but I felt like it was important and I felt like everybody agreed, so.
I agree. I'm just asking a
Yeah.
question that we already know this person isn't gonna show up, so I'm just trying to figure out,
Sure.
like.
But
so
they
we're not
do,
at-
they did apply and they have information based on
Okay.
who they are and their bio and stuff,
So
so,
we can.
I mean, they'd still be eligible to vote in.
Okay, perfect.
And she and I have had multiple emails back and forth
Yeah.
about her. She even said if someone who was a prior committee member wanted to, be reappointed, she would forfeit
She's
that.
very gracious.
She's very, she's
I will
really
be sure.
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't in the middle of like, oh, now what do we do? Perfect. I trust everybody. I'm on board.
As long as we're on the agenda too, we'll move number 3 on action item back up into information and discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to just get, more clarity on that.
Or push it out even further, or,
Yeah, can we?
I mean, January 8th will be here pretty
Yeah,
quick.
it will. We have break and are you all okay with that?
What is that?
It's the board member.
Move it to
conversation.
February meeting.
Yeah.
Just to get more, I wanna get more clarity on.
I won't be here at the February. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to attend the February meeting because I'll be
Okay.
traveling from DC, but I do appreciate having the gap so I can talk with Spencer
Okay.
when I see him
So we'll
in the
make
middle of January.
Okay, great. All right, anything else on the next agenda? Okay, we are adjourned.